Did they really eat rice with sugar in the Ottoman palace? We are going to find out. Today, I'm taking you on a journey that travels all the way from the heart of Turkey to the medieval castles of Germany. Imagine this: you're a cook in a medieval German castle, and a sultan is coming for dinner. You need to impress him, but you have no clue how to make the perfect rice. You're panicking until you spot an old recipe book in the corner. You open it up, and there it is, the perfect Turkish rice recipe. I found this book at a medieval festival in Germany. It's the real deal. All the recipes are authentic to the Middle Ages. This book is written by Mikhail Kishlag at the turn of 20th century. This wasn't just a guide, it was the ultimate authority on German culinary discipline and tradition. The recipe was originally written in German, so I've translated it to English for you. We're going to follow the recipe almost step by step, but with one change. The recipe says to boil the rice directly, but as we know, that's not how the Turks make it, so instead of just boiling it, we're going to saute in oil first. Before we start cooking, I want to show you the ingredients. I got this specifically from a Turkish market. This rice you see here is grown in Turkey, and it's the best kind for making the authentic Ottoman-style rice that's been used in the palace kitchen for centuries. I also grabbed the raisins as called for in the recipe. Almonds needed to be blanched, peeled, and white, but since I couldn't find them that way, I bought them with the skins on and peeled them myself. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Let me show you how I did it. I soaked them in water for few hours.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Once they softened up, the skins came off, but it was still a bit of process because the skin is like a thin membrane. After that, I let them dry a bit, then chopped them up on a board. Since we're going to roast them, they'll get that perfect crunchy texture. I've measured out the ingredients in these glasses, so you can clearly see the ratios. That way, if you decide to try it yourself and don't like my proportions, you can always tweak them to your own taste. Since the original recipe doesn't give specific measurements, for the almonds and raisins, I just went with my gut. Now let's start by washing the rice. This is another point the recipe doesn't mention, but it's one of the most important steps. Believe me, if you try to make rice in the Ottoman or Turkish way without washing it first, nobody is going to want to eat it. That's because if you don't wash off the surface starch, the rice will just turn into a mushy, sticky mess when it cooks. So, we have to rinse it. You need to wash the rice at least 3 times, but you can go for 4 or even more. Just keep going until you see the water run clear. Once the water looks crystal clear like this, you're good to go. Now, let's get back to the question I started with. Did they really eat rice with sugar? The answer is yes. But here's the thing, it wasn't about making a dessert. In the Ottoman palace, this was a display of prestige. Sugar was an expensive, rare luxury, so using it was a clear sign of wealth and power. But there's more to it than just status. Back then, food wasn't strictly sweet or savory. Ottoman cuisine was heavily influenced by the idea of balancing flavors and health. Mixing sweet, savory, and spicy elements was considered the pinnacle of high cuisine. It was sophisticated, balance meant to provide both pleasure and vitality, according to the medical beliefs of the time. So, it wasn't just a meal, it was carefully crafted experience. We're starting with butter. Now in medieval palace kitchens, butter wasn't just a simple fat. It was liquid gold. A chef's worth was often judged by the amount of butter they were willing to use. The more they used, the more royal the dish was considered. So we're not holding back today. You can see how the almonds and rice are toasting perfectly in that butter. It really is the key to royal flavor. Once they are golden and fragrant, we gently fold in the raisins. We don't want to overcook the raisins. We just want them quartered in the butter until they look plump and glossy. Everything is perfectly toasted and glistening. So now we are ready to add the water. We add the water warm, not cold, to ensure the rice cooks evenly without choking the grain. As these cooks, keep in mind that for a medieval European chef, these ingredients were not just food, they were currency. During this period, the Ottoman Empire controlled the main trade routes for spices, rice, and dried fruits coming from the east. Because of the high taxes and the long, dangerous journey through the Silk Road, these ingredients were so expensive that only the absolute elite in German castles could afford them. When a recipe like this reached the European table, it wasn't just a dinner. It was a physical display of diplomatic and economic connection to the Ottoman world. Since the raisins already add a natural sweetness, I only used 2 dessert spoons of sugar. Just enough to balance the flavors. Now, I'll add a final knob of butter right on top. As it melts, it gives the rice that signature glossy golden finish. We let it simmer until you see those eyes forming on the surface. That's when the water is being absorbed and the rice starts to pop up. Once you reach that stage, lower the heat to the minimum and let it cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. To check if it is done, I gently push the rice aside with a spoon. If there is little or no water left at the bottom, we are good to go. After turning off the heat, we cover it and let it rest. This resting period is crucial for the perfect texture. Finally, to serve it in traditional Turkish way, I pack it into a bowl and flip it over. It gives it a beautiful, elegant shape. Now, let's see how it turned out. Wow, look at that. It looks absolutely incredible, so glossy, golden, and appetizing. I am really very curious about what it tastes like. Let's dive right in. Let's break that beautiful shape right there first. Okay, let's see how it tastes. It's really delicious. The sugar, almonds, and rice and butter is combined very good. There is a chewy texture that comes from raisins and almonds, and I really like it doesn't go down very fast, but with that hint of sugar, it almost feels like a dessert on its own. However, I'm convinced it's meant to be paired with meat, just like we traditionally do in Turkish cuisine. Let me add some savory meat to the mix. Yes, that's it. The combination is perfect. The savory, salty meat balances out the sweetness of the rice so well. Now I really understand why they cooked it this way. It's all about the balance. If you make this, you have to serve it with meat. Honestly, on its own, I'd give the rice a 7 out of 10. But with the meat, it's a solid 10, maybe an 11. This was my first long-form video, and I put so much effort into researching the history and perfecting the recipe. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback is very important to me. If you want to see more historical dishes, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.